Thank you all very much. We have one more candidate, last but not all least, just because it's alphabetical. We have Mack VanAllen, who is also running for the 10th District Congress seat.
Okay, David, I got it. Thank you. My wife told me if you speak fifth of 5, brevity is a virtue. So I'm going to try to practice that. I just want to say this. My wife and I really appreciate the fact, my wife Pat, we really appreciate the fact you invited us over here. All the things that happened during the campaign. This is the place I was looking forward to coming the most, and I'll tell you why. I grew up in Cleveland. My grandmother, however, was in Findlay, Ohio, so that was a second hometown for me. And back in the day when you could drive through town here, you didn't have the bypass, I'd driven through Washington Courthouse a number of times, and it always reminded me of Findlay. So everybody's been very friendly, like the people I remember at Findlay as well. I got into this race because of this inability of Congress to do anything in November about these fiscal issues. I think we all remember that. Others have talked about this. I feel that this is not that difficult of a problem. If you get people in the room that represent points of view, are willing to negotiate in good faith, and are willing to compromise. Now, I will say this. I've noticed we did our first candidate night maybe 3 weeks ago over in Greene County, and I don't recall anybody saying anything about that issue. And I've noticed that some of the candidates are now talking about it, and some of them have written about it, some of them in the voter's guide that was in the paper today. So that must mean that I'm either right or I'm very persuasive. All right? I was a teacher, so I suspect it probably was the latter. The last point I want to make is, I went, right after I got, I should have done this before, but right after I got involved in this, and looked at the numbers. And of course, this new district had 3 different congressmen running in it, in different districts. And the combined vote total for the Democrats that ran was 39.2%. Now, you're not going to beat anybody with that number, and the only way you have a chance to beat Mike Turner is to take an issue to the heart of his constituents. And I think this issue is one that you can do this with. And I'll tell you why. Mike Turner has handcuffs on him right now, and they have been placed on him by Grover Norquist in Washington, D.C. with that no tax pledge. Everybody I have listened to, Republican and Democrat, that's not currently in office and speaks about this issue, says, yes, there may be a need for cuts to resolve this fiscal thing. Yes, there may be needs for adjustment in entitlements to deal with this, but there also has to be revenue enhancements, and we all know what that means. That's a nice euphemism that politicians love to use because they can't say the word tax. So anyway, I appreciate you allowing us to come, and I have very much enjoyed this evening. Oh, and I forgot to say, I'm the guy that can take this issue to Mike Turner.